by the people, for the people, the gathering to get health care now. Poems chapter 10. San Diego. I saw a harbor full of boats, hundreds, with tall masts and large cabins. They bobbed like toys in a bathtub. There, fleeting joy was floating. There, fun was tied down to drive the imagination. What's it like to command a toy boat, bigger than the Santa Maria? What's it like to be richer than Queen Isabella? Could you own Columbus too? Would he have parked his ship in front of the hotel as a decoration for its lobby? Why, I thought, are these things important? Why do they bother me? I talked with the toy captains. They were happy with their boats. They talked of rope and paint and math and maps and weather and racing. I thought of fishermen in Columbus, and I wanted them to give their boats to a new Columbus or a needy fisherman, or just sink them for the pleasure of the fish. I remember all of it, and I looked away from the harbor to the streets of San Diego. I thought, no more gold to find, no more natives to kill. That's why they're here. Information from the scene. Thick brush and thin trees line the highway 20 miles east of Meridian, Mississippi. As I passed a modest curve, I saw a box-shaped clearing on my left where the brush and the trees had been torn away. In the clearing, I saw a man walking up and down and looking intently at the ground. Near the highway, I saw two women embracing in a sad, tearful consolation. I guessed from what I'd seen that the women had lost something in an accident on that curve, and that the man was looking for a wallet or for glasses or for God knows something worse, something of the driver that had remained. Yellow sun. The subtle shades of yellow around the armpits of the sun spoil the shining splendor that spreads as day is done. The orange and red patches behind the billowing white clouds can't burn away the vision of beauty covered by a shroud. The exhaust from human commerce and the dust thrown up by man have marred the blazing glory that nourishes our land. Let's change this sullen picture of the sun washed with a dirty towel to the pure colors of the rainbow spread by the painter's trowel. It's possible we can do it. Possible we can change the world. We'll start with just one family, a pearl among the pearls. The simple life. I just want to be lean and make a hard dick, find an easy lay. Beyond that, I just want to pray. When I finally die, I don't want them to say he was fat, impotent, and never prayed. I'll pray for the people, and I'll pray for peace, but mostly I'll ask that the easy women never cease. Then when I go, I can look the Lord in the eye and say, I did my best, but I tired and died. Shirking. I could have done more, could have done it all. There was time, there was the opportunity, there were the resources. So why didn't I do it? Why did I just walk around? Why did I just look at the work? I thought about it. I talked about it in great detail. So why did I do it? Did I just want to make misery for tomorrow? Did I hope someone else would do my work? No, I avoided the nitty-gritty. I set myself to suffer unrelenting failure rather than do what had to be done when it had to be done. Are there others like me? Shirkers of the nitty-gritty details? If yes, can we be cured? Will the tyrant or lover who provides the cure make us well forever? Or will the work doctor fall under the spell of us shirkers and avoid the nitty-gritty details of the cure? I see the work doctors come and go. They tell you how they failed. They tell you how they succeeded. They advise. They don't get involved in the details. We shirkers could come together. We could hold hands and pray together to the great shirker who set us free. With a big bang and a riddle and a bundle of doubt. The great shirker who watches while everything gets colder and work dissipates. He'll give us the needed inspiration to consume the nitty-gritty with our grindstone noses. We'll have power to feign love and enterprise and ignore the colder frame of our future. We'll be like the great shirker, but lesser. We'll let lesser creations run their courses. We'll stop focusing on the details. We'll do them. Let them lose their heat in the vast, cold future. The killing instinct. The damn dogs killed both goats. I heard the growling and the tearing of flesh. But by the time I got there, they had torn them apart. They were my backwoods neighbor's pack of large hunting dogs. They had spiked collars and barrel chests. When I came, they turned and looked me in the eye. One dog had a goat by the throat and was holding it off the ground. And the other dogs were tearing at the carcass of the other goat. I knelt, rested my pistol on the fence, and shot the dog holding the goat. The others bolted. I shot 2 more dogs before they could get over the fence. 2 made it over and ran zigzag across the field. I shot my pistol until it was empty, but missed them. The dogs' instincts had killed the goats. My instinct had killed the dogs. Afterward, I thought of reasons. But I knew we all had blood in our eyes. I dragged the 5 carcasses to a field outside the goat pen. I dug a large trench and put the dogs and the goats into a common grave. I dug deep so my dogs wouldn't dig it up again and bring the stinking meat to my doorstep. I thought about the stupidity of instinct killing. I thought about my backwoods neighbors. His hunting dogs were gone. He would have to get new dogs to do his killing. I thought about me. I felt the rush of emotion over vengeance and spilled blood. Parts. It's a tough day. A day to dwell on misery. But I push it back and look at it. It's laid out on white cloth, parts to assemble in order, easy to see. But misery still. There's time to fit the pieces together. I pick them up and turn them face to face to see how they were together before they were parts, before the tough day. It's hard to see how they work together at all. Once the pieces must have had smoother edges and fit together in special ways I can't arrange now. There are notches in arms and elbows that don't mesh anymore. I know it won't go back together the way it was. There'll be leftover pieces, ones with burrs and worn edges, the misery parts. I begin to rearrange the parts on the white cloth. I study them and put them together two at a time. I sand off the burrs. I leave out the notched pieces. I forget about the tough day. I put aside knowledge and love and novelty. I settle for peace and simple constructions. A new gathering. Essential things have disappeared. Easy to do things have become hard to do. I'm depressed, and I get down on the floor and I crawl under my desk. I want somebody to say something new I've not thought about before. I want them to show me a new form, to announce a new result, something meaningful, profound. No one knocks at my office door. I open it and crawl under my desk again. Still, no one looks in. The phone rings and rings. I hear an answer. It's my mother. She wants me to take my stuff and leave. She wants me to go somewhere. I'm afraid she'll go. I'm crying for her. She's so angry. Her essential things never arrived. Just me. I arrived. Some little hope she wouldn't be buried by the hard thing she had to do. I remember that I tried to hug her and she cried, but she was ashamed to see me, let me see her cry. Two people come into my office. They know I'm under my desk. They know me intimately. I tell them quietly where I am. They come and we sit together and cry. And we all wait on the others to come. Our mothers, our lovers, our children, our fathers who act like men, our friends who sit under their desk, and our caretakers who count our things and wait. Christmas of '87. It's a bad time, full of stress, even though there's been a little money. Nushka's prospective surgery is a plague to me. It's torn me away from an ordinary existence. It's made me look inside too deeply. Though I think she'll be okay, I look still. She must think I'm very weak, indeed. I look at her and cry. I think how much I'd miss her if she died. She wanted me to stay in town this week, and I've gone away on business. It may not have been necessary, but it will hurry the faithful moment, and I can hide my tears from her for a time. I think I put business up front again. She'll think that. And that I pushed her back a little. Tonight I'll call and tell her, no, it's not so. And she won't see me cry. I want her to be well. I want it to be over. I want to go back to fair fights and broad arguments. I want to stop crying. I want us to move gracefully through the next 40 years. I want to stop thinking about the man who built grain bins the day before the night his time came. I want to stop crying. I want to listen to her play the piano. I want to hear her play her Dr. Hook record and laugh about the Freakers' Ball. I want to hear her talk about how her class loves words. I want her to tell me again about the old man she taught to read. I want her to tell me she's already been there when she's never gone but in her mind. I want her to forgive me for what I didn't say, for all the times I've clammed up and hidden. I want her to love me anyway. Next week will be better. We'll get ready for our anniversary. We'll pick our weapons and our seconds. We'll warm up for Christmas. It'll be gentler this year. I'll tell her everything. I'll hold her hand. I'll fill the stove with wood. I'll fix the roof again. I'll clean the closet. I'll let her wear my black coat and socks. I'll paint her the October daisies. I'll take advice about my health. I'll sing, but just softly, just to her. I'll let her rest. It's her time, the time she'll feel special.